Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be giving a first-time reaction on the channel to an artist named Streetlight Manifesto. The reason I'm so specific in saying that it's the first time on the channel is because I've actually heard them before. There's two songs in particular that I know from them. The first being We Will Fall Together. The second, What a Wicked Gang Are We. But those are the only two Streetlight Manifesto songs I've ever heard. And the thing is, even after starting this reaction channel and getting requests of all kind, I never thought I would get a request for Streetlight Manifesto because I barely know about them. And I've never once met another human soul who knows about them. It never got brought up in any of the musical conversations I've had. It doesn't really show up in the ether. It's just not a name that hits a lot of mainstream radio waves or whatever you want to call it. But today we're going to be checking out the song You Would Be Impressed. This will be adding a third song potentially to my arsenal. So super excited for this one. And we're also going to be doing a bit of a lyrical deep dive as well to hopefully come away with some deep understanding here. But before jumping into this, we have to thank Connor the Resourceful for this request today. Thank you so much, Connor. It's a very interesting request. I wonder why the song came to your mind. Excited to find out. But yeah, let's just jump into this.
Would you be upset if I told you we were dying?
The ska style.
They gave us was a lie. Oh, they mean it when they say we're dead and doomed. And every single symptom brings us closer to the tomb. And who will take the credit for our shift and bending fall? Because it's not my fault. Would you be impressed if I said the dead would help us counting?
It's already such an interesting blend. Oh my god. Poor seal. Jesus Christ, I was not expecting that. Oh my god, there's so much to say already in this 1 minute, and it especially has to relate to the genre of, I guess the genre is ska. Feel free to correct me there. I noticed so much already though. The bass line is just moving. It is actually sprinting, to be honest. The horns, when they punch in, it's super eclectic, but also very energetic and fun, bouncy. The vocal delivery is always a bit more strained and gritty, despite it sounding very upbeat and bright. My word, there's so much happening here. Even with the video, we haven't even gotten to the lyrics yet. Poor seal, bro.
Now you're upset because you finally got the notion that everything you had is spinning down the drain. Whoa, give me the one, you're back and rambling. You give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, all those things we need. It won't break down when you win for where your number will be called. You say it's not my fault.
Oh my gosh, all these animals are getting obliterated. Oh, he saved him. Oh my god, the deer. This is not what I expected to see today. I'm glad that the animals are getting some payback here. This is funny. Also, note the flamenco vibe too. Camel drowning the guy in oil. Okay, you know, I believe this about every other animal but the elephant, though there are cases of elephants seeking revenge on people even in their past lives. This is a crazy part, who have wronged them. But elephants I have never seen really go out of their way to harm unless it's literally protective. But even then, they would choose to, let's say take the spider out of the house and let it out outside rather than smashing it. That's how I view elephants anyway. Polar bear.
Now the others LOH you, and every single one of them, a lot of you will have your turn. Aye, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like boss that fly into the flame, it always ends up so. You scream, not me, take anybody else, because it's not my fault.
It goes so hard. This melody, bro, is so good.
It was a lie. And when I woke, I knew that it was time to pray, to make amends before the end, before my judgment day. I looked
bubbling
around,
up again.
I stood alone, I knew what I had to say. I said it's all my fault.
And songs like that, they just run, and then when they start running, when you've got like a hold of it, you're like, okay, I can see where it's going, I can feel the energy, and I can kind of hold on to it without getting lost. Then it starts sprinting, and then there's so much to kind of consider all at once. Songs like this, they definitely require many passes over to fully ingrain in your brain the rhythms, the melodies, all of the movements that are very quick from section to section, to like properly appreciate every element that's at play here. But that's why I had the discussion in that first minute about all of the attributes that I just noticed within 1 minute, because songs like this are so dense. It's why you could say they're filled with energy, because it's, high BPM. That's one element of it. There's a lot of instruments happening at any one moment simultaneously. That's another part of it. And you can even hear in terms of the different frequencies, all from the low ranges to the high. Everything is pretty much accounted for. So it is just an entire stream of musical consciousness in all of the possible realms of consideration washing over you. It's an insane experience. Yeah, not for the faint of heart, I would say. I have so much to talk about the music video, but let's just jump into the lyrics here and have the conversation there. So here we are. Let's do some analysis, shall we? Would you be upset if I told you you were dying? And now, given that the lion was the one singing this, it's from the perspective of the animals to humans, to the hunters. So we can think about the subject being humans and the message we need to hear. And every cure they gave us was a lie. Everything that youth said was good for us isn't actually the case. It's the antithesis. Oh, they mean it when they say we're dead and doomed, and every single symptom brings us closer to the tomb. And who will take the credit for our swift impending fall? Because it's not my fault. Because like humans are responsible for many of the extinct species these days, especially as it relates to global warming and the impact we've had on the environment. And there's an argument too against it that says 99.999% of all species that have ever existed on Earth are all extinct. And it does make sense, yes, but we have to look at the time that we inhabit, and within that substrata, we are disproportionately causing harm to species, and they are becoming eradicated at rates that wouldn't be expected for the time period that we inhabit. So there is a sort of counterfactual analysis that can be conducted, and it has been showing this, but people don't really have the patience to hear positions like that if if their argument is so rudimentary as, oh, most things die anyways. Like, yeah, you could say that about humanity. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to build a better society now. Anyways, would you be impressed if I said that the dead would help us counting every single moment that we waste our time, all the time we're spending vaccinating this disease? I just get dizzy when I think of all the ways we try to hide our maladies. We whine, we dine, and everything is fine because it's not my fault. Yeah, we are so quick to take all of the benefits of the society we inhabit and the things that we do collectively, but so often in the same breath, we don't take any responsibility for the things that go wrong. So how can you really say that you are being an ethical actor if when things go right, you take full credit, but when things go wrong, it's somebody else's responsibility? If you're truly holding yourself accountable, you will be there for the ups and the downs and hopefully work towards betterment rather than just delegating the issue or, kind of kicking the can down the road. Also reminds me of that System of a Down lyric. Always want to play, but you never want to lose. Now you're upset because you finally got the notion that everything you had is spinning down the drain. Right now it's like reality setting in. Oh, do you mean it when you beg and pray and plead? Like now that things are bad, are you actually being truthful here? It's like, okay, you appreciated me when I reached the finish line, but where were you when you could have been cheering me along that journey? Now that you're at the end with me here, are we on the same page? So on the flip side, now that things are bad, you're finally speaking up. I mean, you were just acting selfishly beforehand. That's what that reveals. You're give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, all those things we need. And what, pray tell, will you whimper when your number will be called? You'll say, it's not my fault. This is like Judgment Day, right? Will you whimper? That's a crazy descriptor there to use as well. Like whimpering, like you're so sad, you're being almost like put out of your misery. This life that you've been living is a facade. The person you've presented yourself to be isn't a moral one, isn't an ethical one, but instead it's one who just takes whatever they can, extracting, fully parasitic. Go now. The others, they'll await you, and every single one among the lot of you will have your turn, right? This is like you'll all rue the day kind of thing. Like moths that fly into the flame, it always ends up so. You scream, not me. Take anybody else because it's not my fault. Right, but the descriptor, like moths to the flame, you are what you are. Like you've been this way forever. You've just been kind of a freeloader. You haven't taken responsibility, and you will get yours. Don't worry, you are what you are. And people who do this regularly, the result in the end is always the same. I had a dream last night where everyone was trying. That's the dream, that everybody tries. Subconsciously, I knew it was a lie, and when I woke, I knew it was time to pray, to make amends before the end, before my judgment day. I looked around, I stood alone, and I knew what I had to say. I said, it's all my fault. Wow. In the end, it's taking accountability, right? Because throughout it was because it's not my fault. You'll say it's not my fault. In the end, I said it's not my fault. We get that kind of closure that indicates that at least the narrator, who presumably is a human, not an actual lion here, they are saying, hey, if I actually try and engage with reality for what it is, through my successes, through my failures, and claim them all as my own, then I can actually be more of who I am and accept the faults of mine, because I did my best, regardless of the outcome. Now, of course, we want improved outcomes, but if you're not even trying with good intention, any outcome that is achieved is almost accidental or a byproduct of something else, but it's not fueled with something that creates a sustainable, better future for yourself or everybody. It's almost like happenstance. You know, you wouldn't say, like, just to make the example more salient, let's say that, okay, there's a good example about like infidelity. If you're the kind of person who would cheat, but for whatever reason don't have the capacity to cheat, you having all of those thoughts of cheating on your partner but not doing it doesn't make you virtuous. I mean, in the sense of like, you didn't actually go out and cheat on your partner. Yes, the actions say no, you didn't cheat, but in reality, you're having all of those thoughts that you would do it if you could. And if you're being deceptive about that, then that's like the kind of game that people play, even with themselves. It's a bit of self-delusion, but it also is there to deceive others. I don't know where I was going with that. I got lost in an interesting train of thought here. But when everybody actually, so the example, the counter example of that thing would be, if you had the capacity, if you had the, let's say, opportunity to cheat, but then choose not to, then you would actually be a virtuous person. So you need the capability and then the actual restraint to show that, you know, you are that kind of person. And then you can be judged on both your actions and your thoughts and intentions, because they all matter. Otherwise you would lead to a different outcome in a different circumstance. But if you're somebody who, to use the colloquial phrase, stands on business, then all of that, those moral conundrums would be avoided, and you would be virtuous, and you would be able to take responsibility for your failures. Because in the same environment, you could say to your partner, hey, look, I have these thoughts of cheating and I love you and I wouldn't want to do that, but let's work through it. And then that would be at least an honest kind of movement towards honesty in the relationship. And that's taking accountability for yourself instead of denying reality and just, you know, again, kicking the can down the curb. You could use 50 other examples. That was just a random one that kind of popped into my brain. Very random. Don't worry. Don't read into it past what I've described here. But yeah, that's Streetlight Manifesto. They get you thinking. They get you moving and grooving. So much to their music just like kind of sprints by you. But I enjoy it melodically, rhythmically. It's very fast paced. This is the kind of thing that like you would listen to at the gym and would get you super amped up, especially if you were like running on the treadmill or whatever. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and want to request one yourself, please hit the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.